Hey guys, Brent Wright here, your favorite Northwest Indiana real estate agent. Want to go ahead and talk to you today about the real estate market here in Northwest Indiana and kind of what we're seeing happen. So this is my April report. We're going to talk about home sales. This is going to be pretty amazing. We all know the interest rates are still right around that 7%, a little higher on average, actually. Like I want to say today, like the perfect buyer nationwide with 30% down over 760 would get like on a normal conventional, like around 7.1, something like that. But home sales in 24 in the month of April. Now, mind you, these are closed transactions in the month of April, right? So the interest rates were a little bit lower going into that time. But home sales actually increased 12.48% on the residential side here in Northwest Indiana compared to April of 23. That's an absolutely amazing number. I hear people all the time talk like, "Oh my God, home prices are coming down. Oh, you see that price reduction?" Yeah. The thing is people are just listing too high from the beginning. The days of grabbing a dart, throwing it at the board to come up with a price are gone. That does not work anymore. So, sorry for all the people that are on price homes, but just want to let you know that. The average home price did increase though in the month of April. Now, mind you, this is all of Northwest Indiana, 8.79%. That is unheard of. The average price per square foot was $151 last year. At the same time, it was 141. The median price increased from 250 to 260, 100. These are large growths. Like this is not a market that's going down. This is not a market that's, having a big pullback. The thing is the buyers are out there. The amount of sellers are definitely reduced. Okay. Out of all the homes that were sold, the 919, 599 of them sold inside of 30 days. So actually, those had a listed sales price average of 99%. So about a 1% negotiated ratio. A lot of times, 1% can be like closing cost credit, or it could be like a price cut from an appraiser. Um, so 65.81 or 0.18% of all homes that closed in the month of April sold within 30 days. These are huge numbers. Here in Northwest Indiana, I've actually been seeing quite a few multiple offers again. I've probably been a part of five or six in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So um, buyers are there. The truth is, as long as we have this thing next to us called Chicago and people are leaving, we're growing. And I personally think that we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg yet. Back in 2020, I made the comment before the world shut down to a group of investors that I talked to. I made the comment that if businesses can stay in the office space, can be within 5 to 10% in productivity, uh, either better or worse, with the world being shut down, every major city in this country is in for it. And we're seeing that now. We've been seeing it, but it's really starting to happen. Like everything that I kind of laid out, because the triple down effect, right? Like you have less people working in the city, they're not grabbing lunch, they're not grabbing the drink after work, they're not grabbing the birthday gift, Christmas gift, holiday thing, shopping, whatever. They're not doing it, right? They're leaving. Well, when they leave and they spend their money in a local area, that pulls the money out of the other areas. Now, this affects diners, it affects everybody. And so my theory was, and what's happening, actually a few weeks ago, a buddy called and was like, Brent, everything you said is coming, dude. He's like, Jerome Powell's just talking about it on 60 Minutes. So my theory is that when these commercial loans come due, because commercial loans a lot of times aren't like home loans. You don't have 30 years to pay it off and everybody's good. They're usually done in 5-year increments. You might have a 20-year amortization schedule, so you pay like you're on a 20-year loan, but after 5 years, you got to pay that loan back. That's all fine and dandy when the interest rates are low, growth is happening, you're getting a 2 to 3% annual appreciation on your leases, and you're only sitting at maybe a 2% vacancy rate on a high rise. What about when you're sitting at 15%, 18% vacancy? Rents aren't going up, they're coming down because other spaces are available. People are trying to make deals just to get something rented out so they have money coming in. What happens when you go to refinance that balloon and the bank needs their money back, but they can't get their money back because you can't refinance that property? It's going to get crazy. All I'm saying is buckle up because the amount of growth and what's going to be coming to Northwest Indiana is like something we've never seen before. I truly, truly, truly do believe that as these dominoes start falling, like Jerome Powell talked about the smaller regional banks, he wanted to keep it quiet because he doesn't want to create panic. Now, a lot of our local banks aren't heavily invested in Chicago. They're not in the high rises. They're not in this. The growth is coming here. Those areas, buckle up because it's going to get crazy. And I'm not just saying Chicago. I'm saying Chicago, New York, LA, San Francisco, every major city in this country. Office space, commercial, residential in the cities, just better be prepared because things are going to change, right? But that's going to help us out. We're going to see the growth. We're going to see things come to Northwest Indiana that we never thought we would see here. We're going to see huge subdivisions. We're going to see condos, the townhomes. It's all coming, right? So I hear people all the time say, like, oh, I'm going to wait to buy a home until home prices go down. Let's think of the common sense here. We have a ton of buyers and few sellers. Home prices aren't coming down. That's my point. Interest rates aren't going to come down. Like, they might come down a little bit. We kind of went under 7 briefly, like it lasted, I think, like maybe 12 hours or whatever, like a week ago. And now they're back up, right? They're not way over 7. I think today on this alert thing I got, the national average for the perfect buyer, 30% down, 760 credit. Again, on a conventional note, would get like a 7.125 or something like that. But there's other programs where you're in the sixes, so don't let that freak you out. But don't think home prices are going to come down and then you'll buy a house because you're not going to. It's not going to happen. Timing the market is so difficult and hard. You're safer to be in the market. See, because I just showed you here, based on this number, that home prices actually increased another 8%. So that home that you were looking at last year, for example, 300 is now 324, 325. Don't wait. It's coming, guys. I know. In the growth, we all hear traffic, this, that, but just be prepared. Be ready. Um, the market, at what point do we get a lot more sellers willing to sell their homes? I don't think it's wise. I've had a few people call me wanting to sell their homes because they want to pay off a little bit of debt. I don't agree with that, especially if you like your house. There's other avenues that I don't mind, telling you what to do or giving you advice on doing to go ahead and pay off those debts. But, if you're in a good interest rate and you're comfortable with your home, you know, think about that. Do you really want to go to a higher rate? Now, if you don't own a home, of course you want to buy a house. You gotta buy a house. That's how, like, it's instant equity. Everybody has a cost to live. So let that money grow, let it appreciate without you even thinking about it. You're doing nothing, like, treat it like rent. Like, I pay rent, okay, I pay the mortgage. The rates come down again. Warren Buffett, got to give the man credit. He's the best investor ever. Everybody knows I love to invest too. Um, but Warren Buffett, like, the 30-year mortgage is probably one of the greatest tools. It's literally a one-sided relationship. You buy a house today, say it's 7%. 6 months from now, the rates go down to 5%. You personally have the right to refinance the loan and get that 5% rate. Say the rates go to 9%. Keep your rate at 7%. It's all up to you. As long as you keep your credit good and your debt to income ratios, it's a one-sided relationship. So again, thank you for checking out my report. If you have any questions, maybe about buying a home, selling a home, financial advice like, hey, Brent, I have debts I'm trying to pay off, but I don't really want to sell my house because I want to keep my house. Give me a call. I would love to help. I'd love to answer any of your questions. My cell phone number is 219-406-7195. Thanks, guys.